This increased the curiosity amongst many.
Can't control it. I don't understand. I mean, it makes me very sad.
Media questions have grown increasingly wild.
Is your skin lighter because you don't like being black?
There is no such thing as skin bleaching.
So if you guys have noticed recently, Michael Jackson seems to have been trending heavily this year. But why? Well, it wouldn't take more than a Google search to know that this may have been due to the release of his new 2026 movie biopic, Michael. Now, this increased the curiosity amongst many, and therefore media questions have grown increasingly wild. Is MJ black? Is MJ white? Is MJ black and white? Did MJ do plastic surgery? Did MJ bleach his skin? Is MJ Zendaya?
Huh?
I made that up, cut that out. They kinda look alike though. Over the past few weeks, I've googled the top most asked questions about MJ and done the honors of researching deep into the biography and autobiography, clearing the air on what the facts and myths really are. So if for a long time you've doubted the truth behind the rumors you've heard about Michael Jackson, then this is the only video for you, as all your doubts will be cleared off in this video. So bust some MJ myths with me while I draw MJ. So in order to understand Michael's prime, we need to understand a little bit of his past life and how that affected his future decisions. In 1996, Berry Gordy signed the Jackson 5 to Motown Records, and the world was introduced to an 11-year-old Michael. He had a charisma and stage presence of James Brown, but behind the bright outfits and perfect smiles, Motown was a talent-draining site, and Joe Jackson, Michael's dad, ran it like a military boot camp. He needed perfection and nothing less. Michael didn't have a childhood. He had a life of a bachelor trying to make ends meet. If the choreography wasn't flawless, the punishment was physical. It was at this intense stage of his life that Motown Records created the first myth about him. Listen up, they fabricated an entire version of Michael that wasn't even true. They told the public that Michael was 2 years younger than he actually was, just to make his talent seem even more unnatural. And they forced him to pretend he was this carefree, bubbly kid in public shows and interviews, when in reality he spent nights crying from loneliness in hotel rooms or practicing dance steps until his feet bled. When Michael and the Jackson 5 wanted more creative control and higher royalties, they left Motown in 1975 to sign with Epic Records, rebranding into the Jacksons, and it was then that their career really took off, pulling massive crowds and going to world tours, which also meant a massive grossing income. But Michael was the most relevant member because of his fame inside and outside the group, as he also had a very successful solo career on the side. Due to this, his brothers, or better still, his fellow band members, kept manipulating him into staying so they can continue to earn income off of him. By 1984, Michael was the biggest solo superstar on earth, following the release of his new wall of Thriller. So he had a big decision to make, and it was time to make up his mind. It was either he chose to stay with the Jacksons or he pivoted into his solo career, and that's exactly what he did, but in the most unexpected way. His strategy even shocked his fans and brothers. He officially announced the departure from the band on December 9, 1984. He announced it on stage during the final concert of the Victory Tour in Los Angeles. This shocking announcement was the calculated ambush to ensure his father and brothers never manipulate him into performing with them again. So after he ended that intense stage of his life, he focused fully on his solo career, and it was then that his career really peaked, making his name heard all over the world. But the more fame and love he gained, the more rumors about him were spread, creating an equal level of critique and backlash. The tabloids painted a picture of a man completely detached from reality.
The tabloid, the paparazzi, that type. I've been running for my life like that, hiding, getting away. You can't go that way because they're over there. Well, let's go this way. Pretend we're going that way and we'll go that way. Somebody should say, hold on, stop. This person deserved their privacy. You are not allowed to go there.
And this is the era where the media weaponized his eccentrics and slapped him with a nickname he absolutely despised, Wacko Jacko.
You should not say he's an animal. Should not say he's Jacko. I'm not a Jacko. I'm Jackson.
How do you feel when they call you Wacko
Yeah, Wacko Jacko. Where'd that come from?
Well,
Some English tabloid. I have a heart and I have feelings. I feel that when you do that to me. It's not nice. Don't do it. I'm not a wacko.
There are those who would say that you add to the attention.
No, I don't.
Well, the masks, the the mysterious behavior.
And this interviewer would be right, because what if I told you Michael Jackson didn't just get victimized by the tabloid, he created them. You see, Frank Delio, Michael's manager, needed to keep Michael Jackson in the news, so Michael himself deliberately leaked bizarre fake stories about himself to maintain his relevance and promote his upcoming projects. One precise example will be when he leaked himself lying inside a hyperbaric oxygen chamber, claiming he slept in it to increase his lifespan to 150 years, just to build hype for an upcoming movie. Now this is where I bust another myth, because if you know the confusion this single picture brought, so a lot of Africans didn't really get the joke MJ intended, and it was from this picture of him lying in the oxygen chamber that Africans created the rumor that MJ lied in the oxygen chamber to peel off his skin entirely. But that is completely false. Instead, Michael Jackson's afterlooks were because of a genetic disease called vitiligo, which destroys the skin pigmentation.
To have those products growing up, I used to hear always use bleach and glow, but you'd have to have about 300,000 gallons to.
Okay, number one, this is the situation. I have a skin disorder that destroys the pigmentation of the skin. It's something that I cannot help. Okay, but when people make up stories that I don't want to be who I am, it hurts me.
So it is.
It's a problem for me, okay? I can't control it. Like
I just
that.
want to get this straight.
Yeah.
You are not taking anything to change the color of your skin.
Oh, God, no.
You did not purposely.
We're trying to control it, and using makeup evens it out because it makes blotches on the skin, and I have to even out my skin.
He initially used dark makeup to cover the white patches, but when they became too large, his dermatologist had to use a cream to even out the remaining pigment to a lighter shade, and that explains this. But if you zoom in on his white boy nose and you compare it to his old black boy nose, you will notice a slight difference, am I right? But guys, listen to his defense before you judge him.
How much plastic surgery have you had?
Very, very little. You can count them on 2 fingers. I mean, let's say this. If you want to know about those things, all the nosy people in the world,
But
read
once
my
we
book.
say it, we don't have to say it anymore.
Read my
Michael.
book, Moonwalker. It's in my book. You know, let's just put it this way. If all the people in Hollywood who have had plastic surgery, if they went on vacation, there wouldn't be a person left in town.
I think you might be right.
I think I am right. I mean,
And of course, he will be right, because why would the media handpick him as if he was the only one to ever do plastic surgery? But I suppose you must have noticed the soft, mild voice he uses to speak in all of his interviews and shows. Well, I guess it's time to spill some tea, because Michael actually had surprisingly deep masculine voice, and he deliberately used higher, softer voice in public as a shield to appear non-threatening to the media. But he also did that to protect his vocal cords for singing. Multiple colleagues, including Prince and his vocal coaches, guys, please don't ask me who Prince is, confirmed that behind closed doors, he talked normally. Like, guys, can you imagine Michael Jackson with a deep masculine voice? Anyways, a lot of people have said a lot of things about Michael Jackson, but if there's one lesson I've picked from his life, it will be that there is an equal level of negativity that will come with every achievement, and the bigger your achievements, the bigger your problems. There is a saying that goes, sometimes you face difficulties not because you are doing something wrong, but because you are doing something right. And it's not only Michael Jackson that had so much complexities to his career. Lots of other public figures have spoken about their experiences. Even Justin Bieber had a huge crash out in his career, complaining about the media invading his privacy and giving him false identity. If you ever feel like people have a lot to say about you, remember that it might be because you are finally achieving something big. So don't stop. Michael may have been a laughingstock or called names, but he inspires many even till this day. That brings us to the end of another episode of Storytime with Iscom. Subscribe and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Buenas and adios. We came from far.